Happy Sunday to everybody. Today is just a beautiful day in Illinois, so I hope it's really nice where you are. So I'm doing this outside today, and one of our Patreons, Rosalie, was saying, I know that you've done different things on ornaments, but would love just to see a little bit about what you're thinking and what you do. So I thought it'd be nice to take the reel from last week. This was a new tune I was making up for, again, a painting, and of Dublin Castle. And so yes, let me just take you through this tune. And I was trying this upstairs to see, do I have any rhyme or reason to how I would go about this? But one of my favorite things I saw on a YouTube one time was just Natalie McMaster going through a tune, and she just, would say, there's a roll, there's this, there's that. And in the spirit of maybe that kind of a breakdown, I'll go ahead and go along with the tune that I did last week, and we'll see where that leads. Our Chicago Bears are playing a football game right now, and there's a window right behind me here. If anything exciting happens, there might be a cheer. But as the season is not going so well, there could be no cheers. And of course, this won't be too long now. We'll just have a nice little 10-minute get-together here and go through what could be the ornaments of this tune. So let me remind you of the first part. Okay, so it's a reel, and first of all, the tune could be played by just adding little notes. You can play this whole first part, it occurs to me, without any ornaments at all. So just be sure to know that you could go with absolutely no ornaments in it. And so I think that the first thing that I always seem to kind of notice, or it is a way of handling things that is really nice, is you can see that there's several spots in this tune where you have 2/8 notes into a quarter note. And 2/8 notes into a quarter note always seems to me like the one thing in Irish music that you have to do something. In this case, when I played the tune just a second ago, I was going along. Now, I really think of that as 2/8 notes on a quarter note, but when I played it for you a second ago, I added another 1/8 note so that, depending on my skill level, I didn't know how to fill that quarter note, so I added a note. And but if you have a certain skill level, you can either do something like 2/8 notes and a triplet with your bow, or you can do, I actually have to add notes in order to show this, but you could go, let's say your 2/8 notes are an F sharp and an E, and let's say your next note is an E, and it's a quarter note. So the first thing I do is I will start the first 1/8 note, and I will go, depending on whether I started up or down, right now I'm going to go up with the E. Then I'm going to use a grace note to bridge that gap between the two of the same note. But at the other end of it, I'm going to think of that first E that when I landed just now, I'm thinking of that as a start of a triplet. And the triplet is E, D, E. And so when all of that goes together, that's kind of my style. It's my go-to. I love doing this. I just go. That'll be familiar to a lot of the fiddle players, but just in case you wanted to see it up close and just see it slow, that's what I'm doing. So in the first part of this tune, there's a couple of spots for this. Or use the second finger, or use the third, or use the fourth. And if I continue, yeah, I guess melody-wise, I'm not really doing it there. Right, so the first part with just that. And every once in a while, there's two of the same note, so I use a grace note between those. I do the full thing. 2 B's there, so I use a grace note. And that thing I just told you about. They're the kinds of things that I'd almost say these are almost givens. What's not given is your choice, and it's why a lot of the Irish music won't tell you where to put the grace notes, because it's really your call, and it's nice that it's your call. So let me take you through this first part again, and I'll just tell you what I'm doing. Just doing a B to a C to a B. I'm going to use a grace note to come down to the second finger. I'm going to place my second finger down and do a grace note. And here's where I'm going between the 2 B's and all of that. And then when I continue, might do a little slide here. Grace note. A grace note to the second finger. I might go place the third finger down. So I went, instead of going, I changed it to, and then I placed my fourth finger up there to be able to go back to the third finger. And then, so yeah, I can decide any one of those. I can go forward with my hand, or I can go backward. And so now let me talk a little bit about the rolls.